So I'll make this slide. By the way, Akin, I think that's the Amazon Echo things. It's Alexa. Yeah, you have 3 names you cannot forget. Siri for Apple, Alexa for Amazon, and Cortana for Microsoft. So I think we heard enough about smart cities, smart initiatives. There is the great technologies, complicated technologies. Some of the people, they would like to call it emerged technologies. And these are good. And I think within the theme of moving within this smart city initiatives, what we need to do is we need to understand something very important. The whole thing, I'm coming, by the way, from a very technology and technical background. So the whole thing started 10 years back, or a bit more, when people start talking about digital transformation, how you want to move into the next episode, how you want to achieve your digital transformation. That was around the 2005. But then, I think 2 years back, we started to hear back again the digital transformation term coming again to life. And I think what they have done is, it is still the same trend. They wanted to transform digitally, but there was one additional factor that's been attached to the same thing, which is digital transformation with innovation. And that was the change that happened and make things a bit more faster. And this will bring me back to, okay, we are talking about digital transformation. There is the Internet of Things that we've been hearing about it since yesterday. And IoT is a great technology, and I think this is the core. This is the basics that we need to focus on, because of the IoT, the growth of the smart city initiatives is going to be granted. Because of the IoT, we are going to achieve the right transformation or the right digital transformation. But there is one very important element in the whole process and in the whole dilemma, which is the user and the user experience. A lot of time, especially again, coming from this technology background, technology companies, they forget about the user, okay? We believe the user is one of the very important factors to make this successful. If the user didn't accept these technologies, if the user didn't start to use these technologies, you can create the best ever technology in the world. If there is no user acceptance, there is no good user experience attached to it, it's not moving anywhere. So within the whole process, within the whole journey, what we need to make sure is the good user experience to this IoT, to this digital transformation, to this smart city and smart movement initiatives. And there is a quick and a strong hidden link between the IoT and the smart city. You know, at the end of the day, the city is smart is because of the data that has been collected and the data that's been acquired through the Internet of Things. But the Internet of Things is not only the sensors that collecting the data. It's multiple phases. It's the sensors plus the computing power that's happening. All of these together are contributing to the success of the IoT. If the IoT and the Internet of Things technology is being implemented properly, then this is a major contribution to the smart city initiatives. Because yes, the data is the most important thing, but within this technology, you are making sure that there is a quality within this data that's been acquired. And a lot of people, when they talk about the smart city initiatives, they just slip over this fact. It's very important to understand that within this technology, we brought an endless capability to do the right digital transformation. Or some of the companies or some of the governments today, they are saying that this is the next business transformation. And because of that, there is a lot of things that we need to look at when we talk about the IoT, when we talk to the role of the IoT within the smart city. We need to make sure that people are adopting this IoT. And I'm not saying adopting in terms of technology, okay? Here, we're not talking about the technology. Technology is great. There is a lot of great companies that they are working on these technologies. We're talking about the usage, okay? We need people to start adopt and using and start liking the usage of the Internet of Things, because this is one major step that we need to consider. And this will lead us to a subject that a lot of companies, they talk about it, but without also linking it to the Internet of Things, to the smart cities. It's the connected devices, okay? The more connected devices you have within the cloud, within the platform, is the better your Internet of Things data quality is, then you can have a better reach to the people, then you can serve more and move faster within the smart city. And why do we care? Because that opportunity is really huge, okay? One of the latest research from Boston Consulting Groups is this opportunities of the Internet of Things is reaching around $267 billion by 2020. This is massive, okay? And when we're talking about this opportunity, you are talking about everything that will make the contribution of the success to the smart city, whether it's a smart transport, smart health, smart driving, smart homes. All of these together are forecasting a great and a huge opportunity that a lot of people wanted to tap into it and get their benefit out of it. So if the opportunity is that big, okay, it is more than $250 billion in the next 3 years, then we really need to worry about the future of adoption of the IoT. Well, it sounds like, oh, this is given, okay? It's not. Accenture, actually, they have run a survey and found out, surprisingly, that 87% of the consumers, okay, don't actually know what this IoT means, okay? They don't understand it. And this has built a kind of a road blockage on the adoption and the path of adoption for the IoT. Well, this is not good on the long term, because we need more people to adopt the IoT. Once we have more people adopting the IoT, then it's better to implement the IoT faster and reach into the final goal, which is getting into the smart community, getting into the smart city. And some of the surveys that they have got, they've seen that the customers, they have a lot of concerns. And some of it, they don't, for example, understand the technology. Some of them, they are concerned with their privacy. And this is questioned, by the way, and stuff that coming to every single one of us. It's about privacy, it's about security, it's about understanding the technology. It's about understanding how to set up my device to be part of this Internet of Things. Again, a lot of these questions valid. We, because we are coming from a technology background, we take this stuff for granted, but it's not as easy as it seems for the rest of the world, for the rest of the people who we are depending on them to expand and grow up this IoT community. So in summary, and after that report, we can summarize like, okay, there is several factors that could hold the user, whoever the user, from adapting the Internet of Things technology. Perception, yes, it is complicated. People, by the way, people, they don't care about if we are using X or Y or C technologies, okay? They don't. They wanted something smooth, easy to implement, easy to use. So there is a big perception there, especially when people, similar to the people sitting in this room, okay, holding a great technological background, different understanding, and start talking to them about IoT, big data, AI. People, they get confused, they get complicated, and then they started building that big wall of, there is a fear factor, let me hide behind that wall. Security. Security is not a new problem. It's been there since ever. It's continuing as we are going through it, okay? It's gonna be, again, a problem in the future, okay? This is not an easy to solve problem. A lot of stuff happening there, a lot of companies working on that security. Part of it is the cybersecurity problems and solutions that we are facing, but this is an ongoing issue that people are still gonna have. It's being solved partially, but this is an ongoing thing. Trust. Trust for a user, okay? To trust something, to trust a product, it takes a long journey. And this is also one of the roadblockers that the customers and users are having when it comes to, there is a new technology, there is a new product, there is a new direction that we want you to adopt. Trust is a major factor, and we need to work on it and try to solve it. And then there is something, again, it even happened to every single one of us, which is device setting and collaboration. How difficult is setting the device? How difficult is to do the final setup for my device to collaborate and integrate with other communities or with other devices and get into this smart community or smart thing? Sometimes this is also a challenge, and people, they are considering this. So this is not everything, but this is the major things that's been picked up by this survey, and that's what we are trying to find a kind of a proposal for solution for it. And here's where it comes what we are trying to propose here. The UX, the user experience, okay? This is very important thing, okay? And this is not CX. This is not UI, okay? People, especially coming from the technology side, sometimes they mix these terms together, okay? User experience is a huge, long process and journey for any user, okay? We are not using the term customer experience because this is not a customer experience. This is a user experience. And when we say the user experience, it's everybody in the process who is gonna be part of this experience. This is not user interface because we are not talking about a website or a screen or whatever, okay? Some of this Internet of Things devices, they don't even have a screen. Could be voice, could be experience, could be something else. And this user experience is the core of what a lot of universities took forward to the human computing interaction. This is the core of this whole science. So this is why it is important. We need to focus on it. We need to look at it from a different perspective, especially when it comes to the Internet of Things. And we believe that these issues that we mentioned for the Internet of Things with the user experience proposal that we are talking about here could be resolved. One of the very important things is empowering the user. User experience has several elements. One of them is this empowering the user. You want the user to feel that he is empowered. You want the user to like the technology, to like the device of technology that he is using. And all of us, we are users, right? What we want to feel this is great. We want to be awesome at anything, okay? And we want the technology that works for us to be visible, great results, smooth, without complications. And we don't care about what's inside the technology. We care only about the outcome, how the results it's coming on. So it's only about how do you empower your final user. There is a great book, okay, that's been written by Kathy Sierra, and this is pretty North American terms, okay, so which is badass, making users awesome, okay? Whoever has the chance, just read it. It's an amazing book. Herself was a product designer, and it's very important to understand when product designers starting this journey, how this is going to help reaching the goal of empowering the user. Another thing, involve product designers early. A lot of great products, okay? We're going to come to certain examples, but companies proceeding with their products, and then finally, after a couple of rounds, they find out that, oh, this is not the right product. This is not what the users want. So it's better to involve your product designers as early as possible. Some of the stuff that you need to take into consideration when you do the product design is, of course, doing the user research. While doing the user research, you will improve the user experience, and the most important piece of it is create a user mapping. When you do a user mapping, you know exactly what you are proposing, what's the user is going to take out of this, okay? Now, maybe this sounds a lot of marketing, fluffy stuff, but this is working, okay? This is happening. Companies who are doing this type of strategies for their products are gaining. You know, one of the, I can give you a lot of examples, but one of the examples was, I don't know if anybody heard of the Amazon Dash button, okay? They implemented in 2015, okay? You just press the button, okay? Your supply from the tide will go directly. Between January 2017 and 2015, where this first launch, it been not double, triple the number of orders with the revenues, okay? A lot of people, they say, yes, but this is Amazon, okay? Can give you other examples, okay? Today, they said this is Amazon and this is the US. Today, one of the companies that we deal with its product on probably on daily basis, HP, printers. They have a lot of issues when it comes to having other companies trying to sell the ink and refill the ink. People, sometimes you want to find the right ink to your printer, you will have a problem. They adopt the same approach. They said, okay, we're gonna improve our user experience, okay? Within our printer, there is a button, okay, to whenever there is a supply need for your printer, the printer will contact the supplier and order the ink. The ink will come by post to your home. This is amazing, okay? It's been successful since 2016 in the UK. I know for sure that this is started to be implemented. The forecast to be implemented in the Middle East, starting in Dubai, I think by next year. So we are not promoting any company here. We're just sharing with you how, when you look after your user experience, you're gonna achieve a different type of success. One of the other issues that people had when the survey was happening, which is the user trust, okay? User trust, very important, because we tend to trust products that we know, right? There is a lot of products that between our hands today. Within the user experience world, these are one of the major first contributors to the whole term of the user experience. Apple, for example, with the iPhone, and before the iPhone, the iPod. This is changing the user experience. But it's not like, you know, oh, they created the things, they were sleeping and woke up to this technology. Nest, very successful concept that started in the US, now it's been advanced. Later it got acquired by Apple. Fitbit, this is one of the major things that push us into understand as a user, as a normal user, the Internet of Things by using this Fitbit or similar products. So when you have good product designs and you are looking after all of these user experience things, this is gonna help you acquire more adoption, more trust from the user. So all what we are proposing here is just a couple of advices for the companies. And this company, what we are representing as a QuantaSmart, this is the direction that we wanted to push here. Design for the experience, not for the feature, okay? People, they don't care about the feature. They wanted the final experience. All of us, even on an app, okay? I'm sure a lot of you using, for example, the Dubai Now app, okay? Why? Okay, there is tons of apps, okay? But Dubai Now specifically, why? Because it's giving me and giving every single other person this experience that I don't need to explore into a lot of things. I got the stuff, I am satisfied with it, I am moving forward. This is just a small example. So it's just designing for the experience, not for the feature. And at the end of the day, this is not the Internet of Things, okay? A lot of my mentors at MIT and other universities, sometimes they don't call it the Internet of Things, they call it the Web of Things, okay? It's just the Internet, okay? This is the Internet, this is the Internet. When you say the Internet of Things, this is the Internet. So it's a huge, powerful tool and technology that you can use, okay? The potential is unlimited. Of course, because it's the Internet, it has a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of challenges. And there is none of these problems, okay, including the security that everybody is talking about today. We have not seen it before, okay? We've seen this, if you remember, in 2000, whoever was there, okay? These similar type of problems were always there. So we knew this, and it's not new. So how can we help? And this is the only 30-second pitch that I'm gonna use for what we currently do, okay? We are a collection of people who are coming from technology background. We know the technology, but we have studied this user experience, the human computing interaction, and we believe that we can help companies and companies who are implementing these technologies, users, to adapt these new technologies. Redefining the user experience, it's a journey. You start from seeing what the user wants to how the producer of the technology can offer the right technology to the user. And this is all what I have for today. I hope it's not long. I know it's afternoon, but we're almost there. Any questions? Well, see, it's just a term, okay? Because when and this is according to, again, to my mentors at MIT, because internet, right after the creation of the internet and start to enlarge within the things, we started hearing about the web. Now, these professors, they believe that Web of Things is the Internet of Things in more complications because it's all connected to each other, okay? It is the same terms, but as I told you, it's just a term that they are using to show like this is a bit more complication, to give a bit more complication to the Internet of Things. Thank you so much for your time.